Susan, who went to Edinburgh and agreed to disagree?
Oh, it's a regional question about Scotland. This is astonishing. Oh, I feel like the regional news desk at STV. Today in Peebles, a fox was stuck in a hedge. The police were called. The fox is fine. Moving on. That's all we have. This is about independence. David Cameron went up to Edinburgh and signed the Edinburgh Agreement about the referendum, which is going to happen before the end of 2014, regarding the potential separation between Scotland and England. Now, if you don't know what this is all about, it's kind of like a rom-com. Scotland being the beautiful young lassie with the oil, England being the oppressive man. And they're going to have a referendum. It's going to be one question. They still haven't decided the question, because at the moment the question the SNP want is slightly leading, which is, do you agree Scotland should be independent? Say yes or we'll get you. No, that's...
I was upset about this. First Westlife break-up and now this. I can't cope really. I find it very disturbing. You're originally from Scotland, are you not, Michael, despite your...
Yeah, I think you can probably tell that I'm from Scotland, though, because of my very broad Scottish accent, as you can hear.
How do you feel about this independence thing?
Well, I'm desperately worried, because my parents still live up there, and I just worried about them starving, ultimately, when Scotland breaks up. Do I sense you disagree with that, Susan? Is that...
Disagree in the sense that she's fallen over on the floor,
I'm frightfully concerned about my homeland. Is that so wrong?
We were discussing this downstairs. We're both from Scotland, but I think you'll agree we sound slightly different. And it's beautiful, because when I say things like, it's a braw bricht moonlicht nicht de nicht, that sounds like I'm Scottish. Say it for me, son.
It's braw bricht... What was the rest of that?
Yeah.
That was just a load of consonants. I don't think I
I'm taking you back to Glasgow with me. This is going to be brilliant.
I tend to think independence... It's a bit like single-sex schools are good for girls but bad for boys. I think independence is good for Scotland but bad for England. Because if Scotland leaves us, then England will descend into some awful maudlin introspection and some sort of backward-looking search for English identity. Because, you see, Scottish people have a strong sense of identity, Susan, because you're already parochial and small-minded. Whereas... and Michael, not to leave you out, sorry. And
he's right.
We English are quite outward-looking, albeit in a somewhat expansionist way at times.
Are they not going to have a series of events in Scotland to raise Scottish self-esteem just before the vote?
Yeah, they're going to rebuild Hadrian's Wall.
Didn't they colonise us? I mean, we didn't really colonise Scotland. In fact, your monarchy took over our monarchy, didn't they?
Yes, James I.
Yeah, so is it not we who should be independent from you rather than the other way around?
Actually, that would work really well for people who support the Union, because Scottish nationalists hate the English so much that if the English say, well, we don't want you to be in our union, then the SNP will go, right, there's no way we're going independent. We are sticking with you whether you like it or not.
But we'll all want to be part of Scotland, though, won't we?
We've discussed this before, Jeremy. In order to come up, we would have to marry a Scottish person. You could come and live in Scotland with me in my tenement property near the Heather.
There's a sitcom. She was a crazy Scottish lady. Tweeted a lot about her cat. He was her sassy political butler. Together.
It's the Dyke Van Dyck Show. Two points to me there. Honestly, 6 years I've sat in this chair, I've never bloody won. David Cameron and Alex Salmond have signed the Edinburgh Agreement, which guarantees a referendum on Scottish independence by the end of 2014. The agreement was signed by First Minister Alex Salmond, Deputy First Minister Nicola Sturgeon, and SNP's Dan Mackerel, Sarah Jellyfish and Tony Octopus. Sorry, I gave up finding out who the actual people were. The Scottish First Minister and UK Prime Minister added their names to the 30-clause agreement, which, thanks to a civil service error, leases Scotland to Virgin Trains for the next 15 years. 2 points to Susan.